So we're day 2 in building this pallet shed system for storing firewood with a central bay for working in. And as you can tell from this video, the weather is extremely beautiful and calm. We're coming into what's supposed to be called a bomb cyclone, I guess, coming in tonight or tomorrow off the Atlantic. We're going to get crazy cold and super windy, but it's a nice day to work out, so we are. And I just wanted to answer some specific questions that people had with the first video. I'm going to link here to the first video that explains why we're building this, and then eventually we're going to do a final video showing the whole thing when it's together. One of the questions that someone had is where they said, I wish where we are in Europe the pallets were made with screws like you have them. These are made of standard nails, and part of the design, I see a lot of videos where people show pallet sheds where they take apart the pallets all the way down to basic components and then rebuild them in a different way. And the idea with this is to use the pallets as the units they are. I don't know if I made that clear in the first video. So these are whole pallets that are being put into position with offcuts and scraps that bind them together. Another person asked, how are these attached to the ground? And with the weight of the wood, they don't have to be actually pinned to the ground with posts. What we're doing is setting down old scrap bricks first. So bricks get sat on the ground and then the pallets are built up from there. And as we stack the firewood, periodically we make sure 1 or 2 pieces of firewood go through the pallets and rest on them. And then with the weight of all the wood on top of that, that keeps it all pinned down. Another person commented they would recommend that we stand them upright instead of horizontally, and I hear that concern, but dimensionally these pallets work perfectly in our context on this driveway with the space we have in the horizontal or laying down. And so what I'm going to do is actually run some strapping across the top between the two. My only real so this isn't fit in yet, I still have to take the screws out. This is an offcut from a pallet. Maybe I'll use a stouter board, but the idea is this will be screwed into the 2x4 of this pallet and this pallet, drawing it together so that the weight of the wood can't push it outward. For the most part, it should be just fine. The roof should hold it all together. But anyway, we're in the middle of the process now of moving. It's kind of a bore, or it's frustrating to have to do it, but all this wood has to be moved out and into this bay before we can move forward, because this pallet system is in the way. But so Sasha and I are doing that. She's been very patient in working out here with me, and started working on the central bay, which will have a whole bunch of tables and shelves. We'll show that in more detail once we get there. Thank you for watching, and should have another video in a few days.